if you've just been promoted and now you manage people you used to hang out with. This video's for you because, hey, let's be real. The hardest part about becoming a leader is not project deadlines or budgets or performance metrics. It's calling out your friend's bad behavior and watching the mood shift in front of your face. You feel it instantly. The smile fades, the air gets tense, and suddenly it's not just feedback. It's a crack in the friendship. And that's why so many new managers stall. They start letting things slide. They avoid awkward conversations. They protect the friendship at the cost of their leadership. But here's the truth. If you try to lead like nothing's changed, everything will, and not in a good way. So today I'm going to give you the blueprint of how to manage your friends without losing respect, without losing yourself in the process. And in a few minutes, I'll show you the exact script that I used when my work buddy, my bestie, started blowing deadlines and testing my limits. That one conversation changed everything. But first, let's talk about why this dynamic why it's brutal. Friendship is built on equality, shared laughs, shared gripes, shared comfort. Leadership, that's built on clarity and consequence. It's not personal, it's structural. When you step into leadership, you step into a role that requires functional separation, not emotional distance, but a shift in responsibility. Let me say that again, because it's the whole crux. You don't have to stop being their friend. You just can't lead like you're still their peer. And if you try to skip that one transition, the consequences are going to show up fast. Here's how it starts. Your buddy misses a deadline. You say nothing because, hey, that's awkward. Someone else notices, and then they miss something, and now your standards are blurry, and suddenly your whole team is walking on eggshells because the leader does not lead. I've seen it spiral firsthand. When I got my first leadership role, I was managing someone I'd known for years. Let's call him John. John and I we were work besties. We're inseparable. We joked about how out of touch management was. We'd vent. We'd stay late, grab some wings on a Friday. Classic, us versus them camaraderie. So when I got promoted, I thought, we'll be fine. Well, week 1, John's late on his numbers. I ignore it. He's got a lot going on. Week 2, he pushes back in a meeting loudly. I laugh it off because I'm cool. I got to keep it cool, right? Week 3, a quieter team member pulls me aside and says, is John still your friend or your employee? Come on. That's a gut punch. That moment really hit me hard. I realized my silence wasn't protecting our friendship. It was costing me the team's respect. And here's the part I rarely say out loud. I was scared of becoming that boss. The one who changes and gets weird and loses their people. But here's the thing. Not changing, that was the problem. So I did something I didn't want to do. The next morning, I had to pull John aside and I said, hey, listen, hey man, real talk. I know our relationship shifted now that I'm in this role. And I want to make sure that I'm being fair to the whole team, including you. So when something's off, like deadlines or tone in meetings, I'm going to call it out. Not because I'm mad, but because that's what leadership is. And that's what I feel my job is. I still value our friendship, but I also owe it to everyone here to be consistent. Is this cool? Make sense? Listen, I was shitting my pants. I know he was probably thrown off, but you know what? He nodded. And just like that, the weirdness cracked and the respect came back. That moment alone reset the dynamic. Not by burning a bridge, but by reinforcing the guardrails. And that exact conversation, it's one of my word-for-word scripts that I include in the manager's playbook. If you're navigating team dynamics, whether it's friends, high performers, or folks who aren't really pulling their weight, this playbook gives you the exact language I wish I had when I was winging it. It's not fluff. These are field-tested phrases. Save careers, project relationships, and stop some tensions from getting out of control. I'll drop the link in the description. Download it before your next We Need to Talk moment. They sneak up on you. Anyway, back to managing your friends. Let's talk about what not to do, because this is where a lot of new managers fall off. Mistake number 1, going into cool boss mode. You try to be extra chill, you let stuff slide, you avoid confrontation, you keep it light. What you're actually doing is sending a message that the rules only apply to some people. It doesn't feel cool to the team. It feels unfair. Mistake number 2 is overcorrecting and going cold. So you flip the other way and you try to prove you're not playing favorites. So you come down twice as hard on your buddies. You micromanage. You stop even talking to them. Now they feel targeted and the whole team feels the tension. Mistake number 3 is pretending that nothing has changed. Spoiler, it has. And when you ignore that shift, you leave everyone confused about how they're supposed to interact with you. So how do you do it right? You apply the 3 C's: clarity, consistency, care. Clarity means they know what's expected, even if you're friends. Consistency means they're treated like everyone else, even if they're your friends. And care means that you're not a robot. You still value them, but you have to lead with fairness first. Now, let's get practical. Here's how to actually manage the transition from peer to leader without wrecking the relationship. Step 1, reset the rules. Subtly, but clearly. You don't need to be dramatic and be like, I'm the big boss now speech. Start just showing up differently. Give balanced feedback. Set expectations in team meetings. Signal, this is a new chapter and I'm ready to lead. Step 2, redefine the relationship. You don't have to ghost your friends, but the dynamic will shift. So maybe Friday drinks come once a month and they're more catch-ups. Maybe those venting sessions become strategic conversations, and maybe they don't evolve with you. That's hard, but it's also telling. Step 3, use this phrase when it gets murky. When your friend tries to test old boundaries or says, you've changed, try this. I get where you're coming from, and I want you to know this role doesn't change how much I value you, but it does change what I'm responsible for. So I need to approach things differently, even if it's going to feel awkward for us. Doing that, it's calm, it's honest, and it resets the tone without throwing the friendship under the bus. Here's another truth that nobody tells you. The fastest way to ruin your friendship at work is to protect it so much that you fail as a leader. Because when you avoid hard conversations, you lose credibility. Your team loses faith. And your friend, they lose a chance to grow. But when you lead with clarity, consistency, and care, you gain something better than just friendship. You gain trust. And trust, that's what holds teams together when the real shit hits the fan. So go and lead with a backbone. Go lead with a heart. And if you need help finding the words, go grab the manager's playbook. You will use it more than you think. When you're done that, get your coffee. I'll see you in the next video. Ciao.